You are officially in the loop. Welcome to In the Loop podcast. I am your host, Jordan Jo Hollabaugh, professional rodeo athlete, entrepreneur, and a full-time cowgirl. I'm married to my best friend, and we are blessed to get to do what we love every day, and that is travel around the world and rodeo. My goal on this podcast is to promote the Western industry and specifically the sport of breakaway roping. On In the Loop, we bring you behind-the-scenes stories of what real life looks like every day, from cowgirls, cowboys, industry leaders, producers, trailblazers, and all of the like, sharing stories of the Western culture and the lifestyle that they live daily. You are now officially in the loop. Let's get to it. Okay, guys, so today I am here with somebody I think is a little bit new, as we would say on the rodeo scene, but she's really not new. She's been around a long time, and I think that we're going to hear this name for a long time to come. We've known her for the past few weeks as the girl on fire, aka Makenzie Mayes. Makenzie, thanks for coming to the show today.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks for having me.
I was just telling Makenzie how I was a little bit like stalking you a little, because I knew how good you had done at Corpus, and then you come along at the women's finals, set a world record in the barrel race. You're also a breakaway roper. Don't mind that. And then you come on Kid Rock, and you just totally wipe the slate clean. I have a video of you walking up the ramp with your gold buckle on your horse, or gold medal, I should say. Yeah, you had a great month this past month. Tell me a little bit about you and your horses and all the things that you got going on.
So I'm a third generation cowgirl. My dad made the NFR in calf roping, and my grandma made the NFR in barrel racing. So my whole family rodeos, and I've rodeoed my whole life. I don't know.
It's just what you do. You rodeo.
Yeah, that's all I've known my whole life.
So talk us through these last few weeks. You started out really when I saw you was Corpus Christi. So I guess that was back at the second week of May. And then May must have been like a complete blur for you because you were blowing and going. How much money did you win in May? First of all, is one of my questions. And secondly, walk us through that whole month of we had Corpus Christi, WRCA, women's finals, WRWC, Kid Rock Rodeo, all the things that you had going on there.
So I think I won well over 50,000, and
Wow.
between the 2 weeks, just in the 2 weeks. I don't know how much I've won for the month, but yes, my little mare Rousey, she has been on fire. She started out at Corpus, and we had our first run. We barely got in Corpus. We were an alternate, so thankfully we got in there. And she made her first run and won second in the wild card, and then we came back and we won the round. So then we were in for Saturday. I ran my other little mare and just made a run on her just to give her a break. And then we were in the top. We won third. I think Sissy didn't go to the Kid Rock Rodeo, so I got to go.
Yeah.
And then we left there Saturday night, drove home all night, got home, and then Sunday we had to leave for Fort Worth. So it was crazy.
So you kicked butt at Corpus. You have it sounds like you have two amazing barrel horses. You've got a great breakaway horse.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about which horse you decide to run and which horse, do you have different horses for different situations? Like walk me through that process.
So I guess they're both young horses, Rousey and Bernice. Bernice is also 6. They're both 6. Rousey's just a little bit mentally further along than her. So just whenever I can run Bernice, then I do. If like a situation like that, I was already in for Saturday, then I run her. But Bernice, she's coming along. She's just taking a tad bit longer. She's nice. But Rousey's my main girl. I usually run her. And I have some other colts that I'll take along sometimes.
That's great. So you finish at Corpus, you finish third place. You win a bucket full of money there. You get in because Sissy did not choose to go. You get into the Kid Rock Rodeo through Corpus Christi. So you have a huge week ahead of you. So I want to talk about the Women's Rodeo World Championship Finals 2024. You show up at Fort Worth. You chose to run Rousey, I'm assuming. And you set what they called, an arena record. You ran a 12.9 there. I actually saw that. Walk me through that process. That's a really hard arena. That is a really hard setup. There's 20 of the best girls in the world in the pro. There's 20 of the best girls in the world in the challenger, best horses. It's a tough arena. What did it feel like when you finally went through the eyes and you heard them announce your time? I think it was 12.94. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was crazy. I did not think it was going to be that fast. I guess it was just so smooth and pretty. Well, our first run on Monday, we ran a 13.6, and then we went to a 13.2, and then we went to a 12.9. I'm like, we shut off a lot of time each run. So it was crazy. I did not think it was going to be that fast, honestly.
Yeah, it was super fast. I just remember I was standing there because the breakaway was right after that. I was standing there and, as I heard him announce your time, I thought, oh my gosh. And then I looked up, it was you, and you just had this huge smile on your face riding out the back. A little bit of like, oh my gosh, did that just happen? Disbelief. But then heck yeah, that was great. So how, in your perspective, do you improve each run? Like you shave time off each run. So how did you do that? Or how do you think, did your horse get more confidence there? Did you get more confidence in the arena? Walk me through that.
So I think a little bit of both. We both got more confidence, and our first run we kind of went past the first, and then our second run we still went past the first, and then our last run we did not. we maybe a tad, but we shut off time on the first barrel for sure. She was just got more confident, and then our last run it was just flawless. Honestly, it was the prettiest run I could have even imagined. It was awesome.
And those are the moments that we truly live for, right? The state of flow, the flawless runs, yes, we just did this. We pulled this off. So you finish there. Then you go to Kid Rock, which I really don't want to talk to you about Kid Rock because I feel like you're my nemesis. Like you cost my team from winning Kid Rock Rodeo. Misty Mountain Hop was my team, and we won second because of you. No, I'm just kidding. There was a lot. There was a team effort, right? We all there were several different things, but it came down to the barrel race. So talk me through Kid Rock. For me personally, one of the coolest rodeos I have ever been to. I have never been to an opening with Kid Rock at the rodeo, period. I was like jamming out. He opens this rodeo, comes in. Bo Duke is actually driving his car, opens with 3 Kid Rock songs. I remember my husband and I were sitting there, and he said he turns around and we're both just enjoying the concert and just, it's just a surreal experience. And Raymond goes, "If this doesn't get your blood boiling, nothing will." And I said, "I know, that's why they don't have a barrier here because everybody would break
People
and
so
all the
pumped for
things."
you, and I've never seen rough stock riders so excited for a barrel race. I was like, they probably never thought about cheering for the barrel racers, but it was totally awesome. Everyone was just so nice and supporting each other. It was awesome.
And so Kid Rock was a little bit different than everything else. If you guys haven't watched it or if you don't know anything about it, I'm just going to do a quick run through. So everybody was in brackets per each event. You guys went head to head, and I think you ran twice actually in the first 3 times total, twice in your first barrel racing bracket. So you ran first, then your team member ran the next bracket, and then you came back and ran in the championship bracket. So that was a complete different setup, complete different pattern. No separation, 2 arenas, but in one. What was your game plan there? And did you have anything like the third barrel was only 60 foot from the other third barrel, I believe. So it was, to me, I would have been like, am I going to hit this other girl head on or what's going to happen here?
No, my horse handled it amazing. She was so laid back. I was like, she's just letting Lindsay love all on her back here. But she just, my game plan was like, she just stood there and then started going. I started, trotting and kind of hit it at the perfect timing. That was my plan because I feel like you have to have momentum going to have the best start. But we nailed it every time just about, and my horse worked amazing. I think the last run she got a little bit lost. I think she's seen the other third barrel because we had been running in Arena A, and then for the last round I ran in Arena B, and I think she's seen the other barrel, and so we went kind of past it. But Thankfully, Wyndham messed up too. So, it was awesome. It really was. She handled it amazing, and I feel like we did the best that we could do. And something that crazy, I mean, it was new to everyone, so everyone was making mistakes. It was so awesome, though.
And so it was red light, green light. If any of you, I just encourage you guys to go back and watch the videos. There's tons of videos and footage on it. It was really neat. But like for us in the timed events, it was red for so many seconds, yellow for 3 seconds, and then green. So as soon as green hit, the gates opened, we went. I was late. Joey Williams beat me in my heat, which is a little disturbing because I was late and I'm a little competitive. But yeah, I would love a chance to do it again for sure.
Oh, for sure.
But the barrels was, I think, one of the biggest challenges because literally y'all had to stand in a box, gate was closed and or open, and you had to, like you said, kind of hit that green light timing of you couldn't go when it was on yellow, but you had to almost be going full blast when it was on green. And so you hit that perfectly. And that's what really, I have just got to say about these barrel horses. I know Mo ran I think 3 times too, maybe twice with Winda, and I know you ran 3 times. Just the fact that within the 2 to 3 hours we were at that rodeo, your horse ran 3 times is incredible to, and then perform at that level, completely new setup, different arena. But you walked away the champion there in your division, and then you guys also walked away as the free riders with 30,000 in your pocket as a team. Lindsay Sumter, your coach, probably one of the most competitive white women I think I've ever been around. She was intense and screaming the whole time, which everybody loved. And as my friend, I was encouraged, but that day we weren't friends because we weren't on the same team. So tell me, how was it to have a coach and a team? Were you rooting for everybody else? I know you said they were rooting for you. What was different about that?
Yes, I had the absolute best coaches. They were awesome. Bobby Moat and Lindsay are so amazing. They're the sweetest people ever and helped out any way they could. Uh, Cheering on my teammates was awesome. I met so many different people that I had never known or met, and then I was so excited for them. I didn't even know them really. I was jumping up and down for them. It was awesome. It was, you don't. I mean, I've played team sports my whole life. I played basketball, and this was totally different. I don't know. It was something about it was just. It was awesome.
What is your thoughts on the team aspect of rodeo? We hope this continues to grow and there's more opportunities for these team competitions in the future. What's your takeaway from that, and where you think that could take the sport of rodeo?
I think it. I think we should have it a lot more. That was awesome. It cheering everyone on, and you don't really see that a whole lot. I mean, you see the breakaway ropers helping each other and stuff, but for people to be that excited for you and cheering you on that much, it was awesome. And everyone was helping each other out. I think it would bring us together, honestly.
I agree. I thought it was I mean, a surreal event to be a part of. Obviously, Kid Rock was there, no big deal. Yeah, I actually shook his hand too.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he gave
cool
me a
thing.
high five. I was like,
Oh, I'm like, Raymond, my husband, he said, me and the kid, we're friends. I'm like, oh gosh. Yeah. So it was really, really neat to just be a part of that. And for him to, and everybody else, WCRA, WRWC, PBR, all the people that helped us give that opportunity.
and everyone
Huge thanks
together
to
to
them.
help put it on. I feel like it was just awesome to see everyone coming together. I think that was the main thing that it brought us all together and cheering each other on. And I think it's something I think we should have more often.
Yeah. So not only are you the girl on fire in the barrel racing, you're kind of a big deal in the breakaway roping too. You just finished this weekend off winning Friday night and Saturday night at Northside Stockyards Rodeo. Had a great weekend there. I know you've been kicking butt, taking names at some amateur rodeos everywhere I've seen you. So tell me a little bit about breakaway roping, and you're an all around cowgirl. So how do you balance barrels and breakaway and then be an exceptional exceeding athlete in both?
So I usually ride barrel horses in the mornings, then we go rope in the evenings. I have amazing people to help me. Pepper Andrews and Chance Tinney. I can go over to Chance's house any time of day or any whatever I want, and he would turn up caps for me and help me. It's kind of hard to balance both with pro rodeoing, I feel like. but amateur rodeoing, you can usually get up the same night and go. So I usually go to a lot of amateurs. I haven't really tried pro rodeoing that much yet. So I'm sure that will be a challenge whenever I do try. But I really love both. It would be hard for me to give one up. I have an amazing rope horse, Mouse. He is, I think, 11 this year, and we've kind of came from the ground up. My grandparents gave him to me. He was a little blown up, and we kind of made him, and he's awesome now. We ran him in barrels this weekend too at Wichita Falls. He ran 2 times in barrels and got roped on. So he's a wonder pony. He's awesome.
Well, and that's one thing as you and I were talking earlier, I think is so cool about you is your horses are doing a little bit of everything. You know, you don't just have a barrel horse or just breakaway. Like they're doing both events. You're like, hey, it was muddy at Wichita Falls, and so Mouse got the call. And just to be able to be, so just traverse there and whatever they need to do, they can step up and do it. That says a lot about your horses.
Yes, they are awesome. I honestly think I could rope on Rousey if she, but everyone tells me not to do it, so I don't. But I think she would do it. She's got a big stomp, and she was pretty cowy actually.
I know Jordan Briggs and her husband, I know he ropes on Rolo and keeps him, she said he has to have something to do. He has to have something to keep him busy. So I think that is so neat. Just a little bit of the insight behind those equine athletes that we ride. You and I both know the knickknacks about our horses day in and day out, but not everybody knows those. So tell me a few things about Rousey that are totally uncharacteristic or just a little bit about her personality.
When I think about Rousey, I guess I could call her Ronda Rousey. she she is a fireball. I think of the little girl like running around at the rodeos with her barefoot and her hair going crazy and rolling around in the mud. She is barefoot. She likes to stay outside and roll around in the mud, and she is just she requires a lot. Like she likes to buck sometimes, but we've kind of gotten out of it a little bit. But she gets ridden in the morning times before the rodeo, and then we usually unsaddle her, give her a little break, and then we go to the rodeo and warm up really good. So she, but she does have the most try and the most heart, and I think that is what makes her a winner. She's hard headed and she loves her job, and I think that sometimes the hard ones always make the best ones. I think.
I agree. And I think, to do what we do, it's not so much about the runs that these horses are getting. It's about the road and the travel and up and down and bouncing around in the trailer and all night drives or staying tied up because there's no stalls. Or, I mean, there's just so many different things that go into doing what we do. And so I would say the tenacity and the grit really defines, if you go back and look at all of these horses that have broken records, have set records, have been amazing athletes alongside of us as competitors in the arena. Each one of them has a little bit of a different quirk and some grit, and they're just tough and they just love it. They're just competitors and they wouldn't be doing anything else. And every horse is different, right? And I think that is so cool as well. Like Cookie, my good breakaway mare, you have to ride her all the time too. Like, if you
Yeah.
don't, you're gonna pay for it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And she's kinda like me, a little high strung, and that's okay. And
Yep.
so, yeah, I think that it's really neat to just get a behind the scenes look of these horses. We only see them on the forefront and the stages competing, right? We only saw Rousey when you were a 12-9. We didn't see all the things leading up to how you got there. I mean, we saw the runs, but not the behind the scenes, not the everyday, not what goes in the little things that make the big differences. And so I think that that's really, really neat to learn that about these horses as we talk to these athletes, because without them, we are nothing. And
Oh,
so,
for sure.
yeah, for sure. So tell me a little bit about Mouse too. I mean, he sounds like you guys had a little family history there, and I love the fact, everybody has a different path in this, but I think it's just, for me, it's really intriguing on the ones that come in that like, I don't know if this horse is going to make or not, but we're going to see. And then turns out, you're a champion, he's a champion. You both step up and get to the winner circle.
Yes. So Mouse, I got him whenever he was 4, I guess. My grandparents bought him, and he was started out as a cutter, and I guess he's just a reject cutter. And they got him and he got really hot in the box. And so my grandpa was like, I'm too old to be messing with this horse. So he gave him to me. He was terrible, so bad in the box. But now he stands there like a champ. It took me a couple of years, but he's awesome now. He's definitely a winner. He backs in the box and gives you the best shot every single time. He's so fast across the line and has a really big stop. And he does everything. I've tied goats on him, ran barrels on him, poles. Actually, one of the little girls that I helped ran poles on him at one of the little like all around rodeos, and she won like a $2,500 bonus running poles on him. So
That's awesome.
he does everything. He's a wonder pony. He is a pony. He's really little. He's like 13 3 hands or something. He's really little.
Hey, now I've got Leonard. He's not very big either. So I mean, don't judge those little guys. They got a big heart.
I know. Pepper was saying she loves mouse, and so she's like, if I had one, it would be this one for Allie. And Allie's really tall. You know, Allie Andrews, so tall. And someone was like, her legs would be dragging the ground on him. She can't rope on him. I thought that was pretty funny because I'm short,
funny.
so I make him look like a normal horse.
You make him look normal size, but you're not really normal size. So.
Yeah.
So you are an all-around cowgirl. You're having tons of success. You know, as I said earlier, everybody's like, "Who is Makenzie Mayes?" And I said, "Remember that name. It's going to be around for a long time." You have got a trailer full of great horses. So tell me what it looks like for you coming up this summer and some of the goals and aspirations you have in the future.
So I'm not really sure. I have really debated on trying to go to some pro rodeos this summer, but then I'm like, well, that would ruin my rookie year. And I'm kind of late. So I haven't really decided yet what I'm going to do. I would really like to go this summer, but I don't even know where to start. I'm like, so much has changed for, my dad or my grandparent or my grandma to help me, or uh, Megan Reichert, she helps me a whole lot. And it's just changed since she's even made the NFR, the arenas and everything. They've moved places and stuff. So I don't know what to do yet, but I think I really want to run for rookie next year. I think I'm not really sure. Start in October and try to go for rookie and try to go for it. I think I can qualify for most of the big rodeos. I think there's qualifiers for them. I was just going to try to get qualified this year for them next year, but I don't really know yet. Hopefully, we can keep Rousey going and I can try in the barrels while I have her. I feel like roping, you can kind of go whenever, but I think I'm really going to try in barrels either this summer or next year. Try to hit the road, um, and then maybe another year in breakaway. I don't know, but maybe enter some of the big rodeos in breakaway. They just make it kind of hard at the pro rodeos, to enter both at the because you can't always get both, and the slacks aren't always the same. Just like I went to watch the Mount Pleasant rodeo, the barrel slack was that night, and the breakaway slack was that morning. So it's kind of hard. The amateur rodeos around here that I could go stay within my 2-hour radius and rope and run barrels at the same time. So we haven't decided yet, but hopefully we can either win rookie or get qualified for the big rodeos next year.
Yeah. Well, and I love that. And I think that it's just what works for you and what works for your horses and all those things. Um, you know, the strategy of it all is it changes every year, I feel like.
Yeah.
And even though I've been doing this for 4 years now, I feel like a rookie still sometimes. And I don't think that you ever really get to that point where you're like, "Oh yeah, I know what I'm doing," because I think
Yeah.
then there you're gonna get your butt kicked.
Yeah.
But it's just a journey, and you're continually learning. You're starting to make those decisions that you're like, "Hey, does this really benefit me or does this not?" And I think that's just part of evolving and maturing in the sport and knowing what you want to do and what you don't want to do and being okay with that. And so I love to see that. I'm very excited for you and rookie whenever that shows up and all the things. You've got all the horsepower underneath you, and I'm very excited for the future there. But I have one question for you that I ask everybody on my show. So, Makenzie, if you had to go back and you had to give your younger self, younger Makenzie, a piece of advice, what would that be and why?
I would say refuse to lose. I say, never give up and always work towards your goals and your dreams. And I feel like that's what I've really done. I've, you know, not always had the fastest horse or the most winning horse, but I've always found a way to win or to shed off time. And, I think that, is what makes someone a winner. And, even though you don't have all the things to win, you find a way to win. You make it work and you work hard. That's all I would have to say is refuse to lose, never give up.
I love that. And finding a way to win. I think that's what makes you a true champion at the end of the day. And great advice. Because there's always a way. You can always find a way. And so
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that for the future generation coming up. It's just a great piece of advice and something to follow and easy. You think something you can easily latch on to. So, Makenzie, thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations at all of your success this past month at the WCRA, WRWC, Kid Rock Rodeo, Barrel Racing Champion. You've got your gold medal hanging on your horse. Y'all go check that out. Thank you so much for joining us on In the Loop, and we will see you down the road.
Thank you, ma'am.